We need the Brady
and
bunch
we're
music.
live. Yeah, I know, right?
Right?
We need a couple more people involved here, and then the Brady Bunch music going on. That'd be great. Yeah, that would be perfect.
I'm the trunk of the tree right now.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah, it all comes from
Always,
you.
man. The foundation.
So how you guys doing?
Hanging in there, brother. Hanging in there. Dealing with like a heavy-duty windstorm in New York right now. It's like the first day it hasn't been like scalding hot because it's just like wind that's overturning trees and shit.
Yeah, it's been raining for 3 days.
Yeah, I heard there were some tornadoes in New Jersey.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Isn't that something? It's like you think the
That's
tornadoes, like, you know, were like a southern thing. It's like, nope, we got them in Jersey too.
Wow.
And Jersey's
Yeah,
right
that's
next
crazy.
door, so suddenly you see a tree crashing through, and you know,
I somehow I think you'll cut out before we see the tree crashing through.
I'm kind of glad we don't get those here.
Hey, Drew, go full screen if something does happen. Put Brian full screen.
Oh yeah, I'm ready.
Seriously.
If a tree comes through, I'm full screening that thing. Yeah.
seriously,
Yeah.
I'm
Me-
right
me-
on
my
air.
My money's on a cow passing by.
All right. So I know that Mojo Rising has another stream they got to get to. So we're gonna let them go first because they have like a launch party tonight, right, guys?
Yeah.
All right.
Hell yeah.
So do you have an Indiegogo link yet or anything like that?
Just Kickstarter.
Just your okay. You have a Kickstarter link. So let's find you on Kickstarter real
Let me
fast.
send it to you real quick.
It's projects. Wait a minute.
In your
Garage
inbox.
Mine and
In your
Mojo.
inbox.
It's in my inbox.
Yep.
All right. Here we are,
Now,
like
it's just-
lagging.
it's- of
Don't we
course,
seem unprofessional tonight? No.
That's
I
all.
wouldn't say unprofessional, but definitely unprepared.
It's riveting. It's riveting. Great.
right, the
Is this-
link that you go to later, right?
Yes.
But
Is
I'm
this-
gonna send you another link that's like to the page where you can pull up some other stuff if you want.
Is this your first stream by any chance?
Come on, Drew, pull it up.
I'm trying to. I'm trying to get to the link. So,
Because I just wanted to say, like live streaming, it's a little awkward at first, but eventually you get the hang of it. It's like anything else; it gets easier the more you do it.
It's like sitting
you
at a
guys-
table at a Comic-Con.
Exactly. Exactly. So you guys don't sweat it. You're amongst friends.
Yeah, the thing
Except
that
you
makes
can-
it easier is having people heckle you while you're trying to do it. It makes it so much easier, doesn't it?
right? We got a hi all. Welcome to the show. Welcome.
How you doing? Ian?
Hello.
Hello. Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome. Da, da, da.
So this is taking forever. Let's see if
Yeah,
we
I know.
can do it any faster.
You did get 2 links, right?
Oh no. I'll stick it in
There
the
it
chat.
is.
I've got it. You get it?
I got the link coming up here. I don't know why. It's because I'm running like StreamYard. It's just lagging. So
Gotcha.
Simon, wearing a shirt.
Yeah.
It's right
What?
here in the private chat, though, if you need it quickly, Drew.
oh, that would have been faster. Okay, yeah.
What'd you say, Brian?
Are you wearing a shirt?
Hell no.
Good. All right.
And
Just
guys,
checking.
let me just say this Kickstarter looks hot, man. Who's your artist?
We have Manny Soto is the co-writer and artist, and then Edwin Artex Badillo is the colorist.
Yeah.
Our letterist is Keith Braun, and this
Oh, here
man
we go.
is the creator and co-writer
Do
as
it
well.
again.
Well, it looks like some hoodoo, man. I wish we could get inside. I've seen a little bit of preview images, so I mean, maybe I've got a bit of a. I know Pops has seen all, but right now it's just in the followers, collecting followers. You got it listed as an upcoming
Yeah,
project. When's it go live?
It goes live at 9 tonight.
Tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, beautiful. Eastern
Fantastic.
time.
I just sent you the page, Chris, the Mojo page where you can see all kinds of the art. And
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's
yeah,
a
sure,
bad.
send it to him.
That's a badass
We
Aaron
have-
Cinetti.
Yeah.
We have alternate covers by Jim O'Reilly, Jimmy Reyes on inks, and Sigmund Torre on colors. I did a alternate cover that's a watercolor cover.
Wow.
We have an alternate cover that's going to be a foil cover by Artex.
Foil cover, you say?
Yes.
Watercolor.
Yes.
Watercolor.
All 90s.
Is right here.
Nice.
Fancy schmancy.
Give us your elevator pitch. Let's hear about it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
You want
Tell
the
us
quick
about the
version?
book.
You want the quick short one?
Nah, go ahead. Crank it out.
It's a
Stretch it out for
32-page
us.
Comic set in apocalyptic New Orleans, the center of all magical powers since the Big War. Magic, monsters, mayhem, and mojo.
Sold.
And we have Brute the Battle Pig in there too.
Brute the Battle Pig, yeah.
So I mean, you have bacon and everything.
Bacon.
So Raj, how did you come up with this idea? Has this been something that's been cooking?
Well, no. We was at a convention last year in Oklahoma, and I was helping Greg out. And so, for me helping him out, he said, "Hey, I'll draw you something." So, I'm into voodoo as it is, and so I gave him this character, which turned out to be Mojo, and all these people, they came around and they just kept coming and coming. Hey, what's this? Is this y'all's? And when's this coming out? Or just all kinds of interaction. So Greg was like, "We need to make this a character." So me being a Doors fan, there's a song called "L.A. Woman" where he says, "Mr. Mojo Risen." So all that's spun together.
Yeah. Very familiar with that.
Yeah, ever since I heard about the project, I've had that song on loop in my head. But what I like about it is it's not Mojo Rising, it's Mojo Risen. So this is what follows the song. It has now risen, it seems like. So you've got it in past tense, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And it's Darkness Rising is the first book.
Okay, gotcha. Let's look at this hot art, man.
Seriously.
You're gonna see some fan art. You're gonna see all kinds of stuff on here.
I like
Yeah,
fan
we've
art.
already had
Oh,
one.
there it is. So that's the cover that you've got featured on the
Yeah, that's
Kickstarter.
cover A.
That's cover A by Manny Soto.
That's the studio edition A.
Beautiful.
That's that cane right there, or whatever, that scepter. That could be the headstock on a Les Paul guitar one day. Who knows?
That scepter is the staff of decay.
Are you saying the cake or DK?
Okay.
Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
you guys are a little quiet for the audience. If you can get closer to the mic.
Yeah, guys, we gotta hear this.
They're always quiet, man. This
And
is
speaking of the audience, let's just say hello to everybody. We have Ivanette, we have Terrence Hall, we have Lothar D,
Gee.
Joe. I'm not going to pronounce your last name.
Joe
Oliver.
Oliver, and let's see who else. That's everybody. So welcome.
Hello.
Hey, guys.
Hey, Eve.
Thanks everybody for tuning in.
That looks good. It's almost like Def Leppard letters too. Who did the logo?
No, that's Iron Maiden, man.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
Iron
Maiden.
Maiden.
Yes, that's true. You got me.
Yeah.
I stand corrected. Thank you for that correction.
Close though.
there is
Yeah.
rock and roll. There is rock and roll.
Oh,
Oh my gosh! Wait a second, Florida man. What is this? Hey, what's going on here?
That's some Gator wrestling.
Oh, that's nice, man. That's really
Beautiful.
hot. Who did that
That's
cover?
part of
Jim
the
O'Reilly.
Gator or Gator bait package. That's Jim O'Reilly did the pencils.
Yeah.
Jimmy Reyes did the inks, and then the Sigmund Torre did the colors. But there's
Oh.
a three cover package.
Sold.
oh man, that's beautiful.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I guess that's either an unconscious or a dead gator.
He will slither away when it's over.
Okay. All right. Maybe he's just under a magic spell, right?
I came to an understanding.
Okay.
He's
Yeah, I'm
under the
gonna really,
mojo. He's
I'm getting a really. Go ahead, Drew.
he's under the spell of the mojo. You know, he's under
There
the
you
mojo.
go.
There's
Oh,
the
there
color
it's
cover.
colored. Oh man.
Oh, the
Beautiful.
color. Yeah, that's nice. Whoa, that is nice. Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
So
Is it just?
obviously the title
Wait,
inspiration.
go back to the paper bag. What was that?
I think
Fan
the
art,
fan- that's
man.
the
That's
fan
the
art.
fan
That's the
art. That's
fan
the
art.
only fan art that matters.
hold up.
Yeah, man.
It's right here. I have this. It's right here. My
Okay.
That's
grandson
great.
is Mojo's
Yes, you
biggest
can.
fan. I'm gonna tell you that right now.
Let's see that again, Pop. Show it again. Show it again.
My grandson
Oh,
Okay.
is
Oh,
Mojo's
yeah.
biggest fan. I
Hang
have a
on.
whole bunch of Mojo fan
Yeah.
art for my grandson.
oh.
Okay.
Very cool. Very
Beautiful.
cool.
There's all they've been so awesome to us, man. I mean, they turned me into a comic book character, and then
It wasn't
My-
harsh.
my grandson drew this little guy right here,
Oh.
and I showed it to Manny, and Manny turned him into a character as well.
Oh.
We will not show yet. That's for a later episode or a later book, but I mean, if they want to show it, that's up to them. But
Sure.
that's part of the future Rogues Gallery. This is they're already like halfway through book.
Riz,
This is rolling. It's not going to end here. Oh, who's that?
my cat got on the keyboard, so I don't know where that
That
thing
right
went.
there. Go back to that last one.
That one?
No, back one.
Back
one
one?
more.
That one?
Okay, go forward one.
Shepherd Farms remembers.
That
There
one
we
right
go.
Yeah, that looks
That
good.
is an exclusive print. The first 50 comic related madness members that back this book will get one of those, and that's it. There will
Cool.
be no more.
Very
That's
cool.
That's your Facebook group, right, Pops?
That's Mojo with our little mascot, our Crom. Crom is our little mascot.
Oh, yes. Hey, how'd CromCon go? Good stuff?
Dude, it was excellent. It was wonderful.
When's the next one?
I always have a blast, man. But we talk about that later. I want
Right on. Yeah.
Mojo.
So Raj, guys, tell us about this arm on this dude. Tell us what's going on here. Tell us something about this character.
Oh, I don't know if I want to.
Well,
Okay. No spoilers. No
It's a
spoilers.
secret.
Well, see, there is an origin book coming
Jim
out.
Riley's doing, so I don't want to trample down that road. I mean, you have to read it, man.
Yeah.
Well, you give us a little teaser.
Come on,
You
give
know?
us a taste.
Tickle ass with a
He's gonna
feather.
use it.
little
He's gonna
jambalaya.
use the arm.
Apocalyptic New Orleans.
The arm will be explained in the book, origin book, which will be after issue 2. It'll be
Okay.
kickstarted then.
Okay.
And that'll be in the Jim O'Reilly story that he's putting together.
Okay.
I wanted to go back to the image you have up now is going to be for the group. It's going to be the 50. But another thing we're doing is the first 50 people that pledge to a physical tier are going to get some Mardi Gras beads, a string of them. So
Okay.
it'll be a party.
See, we have to
And
explain
you don't even
that
have to
it's
take your
based
shirt
in
off.
New Orleans.
Do we have to show our boobs for that or anything? No.
As a matter of fact, we encourage you not to take your shirt off.
I do too, honestly.
The first
My cat just set off my printer for 33 copies.
Oh my God.
The pepper pots. It's pepper pots.
No,
just-
that was actually Darla that just did that.
Oh boy.
Darn.
Yeah, the book is centered. I mean, the first book is located. It's in New Orleans in post-apocalyptic time. So
Nice.
Mojo is defending the center of the world's magic, and there's bad people and bad things, and sometimes they're friends, sometimes they're enemies, and it's got legs. It's like I said, they're already halfway through book 2. This ain't stopping now. This is rolling.
Heck yeah.
So is this character called Mojo?
Yes.
Now he looks wicked evil, but I
Well,
presume he's what, like the Punisher almost, or Ghost Rider type character?
He's obviously voodoo based, right?
Oh,
I'm
sure,
getting
sure.
a brother. I'm getting a very strong brother voodoo vibe.
What? That's
Yeah.
weird. Why?
He's
And I love
he's
Brother
an
Voodoo.
anti-hero.
Me too.
He's a hero, but you need to pay attention to his snake, Hera. She's the evil one, and she's going to be trouble down the end.
Oh,
Hmm.
little tease right there. Good, nice.
He's got a pet that just ain't necessarily listening. Kind of like my wolf.
Uh oh.
Don't pay attention. You do.
Yeah.
You're telling
This snake can talk to him telepathically, so she's the evil one in the whole thing. So
Okay,
Like
And you'll
the
find
devil
out
on
more
the
about
shoulder.
her in the origin story as well.
gotcha. Nice.
Very cool.
Very
And-
cool.
But it's going to cause plenty of havoc on the first 2 issues.
Yeah.
And I want you guys to know, as a fan, I've gone out of my way to get these guys not to tell me what's going on and to not show me too much. Because as a fan, I want to read it when I get it, just like you guys, right?
Nice.
You know, read it when it gets here. And being in it, that makes it even more like, oh my God, you know, because it's crazy what these guys did to blow up the group, and blowing up the group kind of created the cons, and it's like all because of what Raj did. Really, I ain't gonna lie, it all blew up because of what he did. You know, I wasn't I probably wouldn't even have promoted any more books after how we met, or you know, how the person they were dealing with before. I probably wouldn't even have promoted any more books, but my buddy Raj was doing it, and I was like, I dove in head first, trying to make sure that we got as much exposure as possible. You know, a long time ago, it seems like.
No, we've been trying to get this book out for months. Well, about a year. And
Wow, a whole year? You've been, this has been sitting on your production line for a year?
well, yeah, and you know, the COVID hit and everything, so we put everything back, and it's just been a long year. But we're good. We're good. We feel great. It's a solid story. It's a solid book. Everybody's going to enjoy it, and we're just looking ready for book 2.
And
Which book is already in production. It's I don't know how many pages in. So.
This book is finished except for lettering, so there's nobody going to have to wait. You know, it's done.
Nice.
Excellent.
Heck yeah.
yeah, and not
So
only that, the COVID, when they decided to stop and not go forward when COVID hit, they took that book and they improved it. They added pages to it. They didn't just sit on it waiting. You know what I mean? It's like they made it better. It's like every time they were like, oh, we're postponing a little longer, it's because they were doing something better. So you're going to get the best that we can throw at you right now. I promise you.
Yeah, and to piggyback that, you know, most comics are around 22, 24. This is 32 pages, guys. So
Beautiful.
32 pages.
Nice.
Another thing that we also just we have a connected cover, and we're cross promoting with Voodoo Nation, and that's going to be another tiered where you can get the Mojo part of the connecting covers. We have that on there. We have all the different. We have.
Let me hold on. I'll send you one.
yeah,
Who should I
Posse,
send it to?
You can just you go ahead and send it to me, or you can put it in the private chat. If you want to have a link, you can just put it in the private chat, and that'll be the fastest. So.
Yeah, we teamed up with Luke Stone and Travis Gibb and got these connecting covers, and these are amazing. But when y'all see it, y'all see it.
Yeah, Luke's great. Luke's with Terraform Comics, I think, right?
Well,
here's the
that book is not Terraform, but he is coming out with them. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Oh wow! Can we see that full screen, Drew?
Where's it at? Okay.
On our boys.
There we go.
Oh yeah!
Nice.
Whoa!
This is the.
That's like some Kirby crackle up in there too.
Oh
yeah,
Oh
man.
yeah!
Yeah, man.
Woohoo!
Oh man.
I'm not having
fat. That's fire.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, dude!
Other
And that's
man.
Luke did that.
Yeah.
Man,
Luke
he's so good. Yeah, way to go, Luke.
That's so beautiful. You don't want to see it colored.
Yeah. Yeah, really. I mean, that something like that, a print of that might be nice, just the way it is too.
Oh,
in
man,
addition to
gorgeous.
Yeah, that would make a nice sideways poster.
Yeah.
A week ago.
Yeah.
Wow.
Now,
We had a quick
sent it to
turnaround
you
on that.
guys.
You guys are legit.
I just sent the colors to you guys so you can show the two books side by side.
You sent
Uh-oh.
it where?
Okay.
You're doing that,
I see it.
I'll go
Yeah.
first.
No, that's actually over here. In here actually.
Oh.
It's the first picture on this one. I skipped it.
There it is.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, that looks good.
Nice. Yeah, it does.
Awesome.
Oh,
Luke,
beautiful.
Travis, good job, bro.
Seriously.
That'll only be available for 10 days.
10 days.
Yes.
Wow.
You got a beautiful looking book here, guys.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So, what made you guys decide to use Kickstarter? Is that where you've been before with another project or anything?
Well, I personally have been watching Kickstarter since they founded. So I've been
Wow.
watching it for over 10 years.
Okay.
And just never did a project. So
Right.
when these guys came in under Third Empire Studios, the studio versions, we decided that we're going to do that, but we're also going to do Indiegogo.
Yeah, we'll do Indie.
So, but Kickstarter is the one that I've been researching, and I have stacks of research, and I printed off Kickstarters that I liked, and so that's the thing that I actually researched the most.
Yeah, right.
Well,
So that's-
Kickstarter is a little bit more simple than Indiegogo. Indiegogo has a whole list of different challenges. Kickstarter has that built-in marketing. So if I was to it depends on the project. You know what I mean? Because Kickstarter has more strict rules. So if your project might be a little bit on the mature side, and then have a male protagonist, it may not be popular on Kickstarter with their, you know what I mean?
Let me just throw out in here, just to let you all know there is a third option coming. I'm not going to say any more than that. There's a third option coming that takes the best of both and throws out the worst of both.
It's something we're planning on doing is after the Kickstarters, we're planning on rolling them into Indiegogo.
Oh, you're just going to go jump. You're going to take the Kickstarter into in demand on Indiegogo. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Indiegogo I think is really beautiful is that they'll actually take a Kickstarter project that's funded and start you off in demand immediately on their platform. Yeah.
Or they'll allow you to do
So, and
another
we're gonna
campaign,
utilize
but they'll at least ask you to do a variant cover, at least.
Which one does that, Sim?
Indiegogo and Kickstarter. That's what they say, like in their rules. It's
Okay.
you can bring a book from another campaign. Like they don't like you running the same campaign on different platform, right?
Right.
But at least if you offer something different or a variant cover.
Right now we have 5 that we could do.
Yeah, we got 5.
Mhm.
Sweet. Yeah, you guys are gravy. Now, how long is this campaign going to be live on Kickstarter? Have you already set a time on it?
30 days.
Okay.
It'll end on the 3rd of
September 3rd, my birthday.
that's a
September
Thursday.
2nd, my birthday.
You see how he got that little plug in there so everybody can send him presents for his birthday?
Yeah.
You know what I want for my birthday? I
Send-
want the Back Mojo. That's
Back
what I want
Mojo.
for my birthday.
Back Mojo Risen. Risen. Are y'all pronouncing it Risen
Yeah.
or Risen?
Yeah,
I don't
like
care.
the drug, like the poison. Rising.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Oh boy. Oh, these guys are colorful.
Yeah, man.
I know about
Yes, baby.
All right, well let's jump over to
That's great.
Dave, and then we'll
Amazing.
we'll basically come back to this if we when we get to the rounding, whatever. So Dave, did you have a specific project that you wanted to feature, or did you want me to take us to your website?
You just go straight to my website. I have multiple titles out. In January, I put out my first of many one-shots called Shady Lady. It's a 24-page black and white thriller noir. And it's came out on January, and it's selling pretty good. It's my first of, like I said, many one-shots. I have a 100-plus page graphic novel called The Loved Ones, which is kind of an homage to like the black and white movie monsters of the 30s and 40s, Dracula, Frankenstein's monster. That kind of throws it on its head. It's actually,
Did you hear? You just gave Brian an orgasm.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
You'll like this then. So,
Oh yeah.
so it follows at first a monster hunter, kind of like a Van Helsing type monster hunter, who finds the children of those classic movie monsters. As the story goes on, the children decide to hunt their parents.
Oh, that's a great hook.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's good.
it's a book that it was like I said 100 pages, but it was a labor of love. It took me about a year to get everything done. It was actually written by another writer friend of mine. I usually do my own writing, but liked his stuff and I wanted to do a little collaboration. And it's written by Brian Menard from Dojo Coon Comics. And he's him and I have done some stuff here and there for other small press, and I thought this was really right up his alley. And it turned out really well. The ending is one of those. It's a complete story from beginning to end, but the ending has a nice little hook at the end to where if I want to continue with these characters, which I do want to, there's nowhere that it can't go. So The Loved Ones is one of those. I think that if you like black and white movie monsters, you'll dig this one. So
now, which one is The Loved Ones? Is that the one of the graphic novels? Is that the miniseries? How do we find that?
It is in graphic novels. If you go to graphic novels,
there it is.
The Loved Ones right there.
You got a blow up of it at all? The picture?
I don't know. It doesn't blow up. That's as big as it gets. But
we're blowing it up right here.
Blow it up.
Excellent.
Yeah.
So The Loved Ones, that sounds really interesting. And then you said you had the Shady Lady.
Shady Lady, for one of the first 24-page one-shots I've coming out. I have another one in the works right now, which is a kind of, again, the most traditional superhero story that I've ever done. But I always try to turn it on its head somehow and take those old tropes of their secret identity and Justice League type things and try to turn it on its head a little bit. And that's hopefully coming out before Halloween. I am working on the issue 13 of my ongoing series. You can see issue 12 right there up on the screen right now.
The Offspring. Yeah.
Issue 13 of The Offspring. I'm right in the middle of. I've got some of those pages right here that are kind of working their way through it with my traditional inks here.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
That's cool, man.
It's issue 13. You can find it all on our website, correcthandedcomics.com. I'm like The Offspring. I call it our flagship title because I am super proud of the way the story has come out. I came up with the concept about 25 years ago, and it's grown as I've grown and changed. The concept has grown and changed with me. But the original 3 characters that I came up with 25 years ago are pretty much the same. I kind of took ideas from people that I knew around me, and I wanted superpowers. But and again, this was 25 years ago. But I make the joke that I came up with no flights, no tights 25 years before Smallville did. Or I guess 15 years before Smallville did. Yeah. And I wanted to have these characters have real problems that they would not overcome. So when you meet the first 3 characters, 2 of them are at the lowest point in their lives. You could not argue that they couldn't really get any lower than 2 of these characters are. One of the characters, he looks like he's got it together. He looks like he's doing okay. As the series progresses, you find out that there are lots of cracks in the system. There are lots of cracks in his demeanor that start to show through a little bit. He is the strongest physically, and we think the strongest mentally, but as you move along the series, you just come to realize that he's barely holding it together, and those cracks start to show as we get through issues 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So it's really like I said, a labor of love, and super proud of the way it's coming out. Issue 13 is actually the end, what I'm calling the finale of season 1. So when issue 13 comes out, hopefully within the next month, fingers crossed, I'm hoping. I'm going to focus on some more one-shots. Then I'm going to get all 13 issues into one big season 1 omnibus to be able to sell.
Nice.
I seem to do pretty good with the trades. So I'm hoping to be able to get that before Christmas, all into one big trade to be able to have season 1 all together and ready to go so you can see from beginning to end.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Yeah, that's what people really want. People really do want trades, for sure.
Yeah, I know. I probably buy more trades than I do single issues. I love putting out single issues. The cover. If you go to my Just the Offspring page, there in comic books, you can see all the different covers that I have for each of the 12 issues that I have out now. But yeah, I love coming up with covers and linking them to the story somehow, and making sure that the covers help tell the story. But what I really love doing is those trade covers. They always seem to like pop. They always seem to really, I think, really show the characters and really show that emotion that the characters give throughout the story.
I like it.
Seriously,
I
sold.
like it, man.
Thanks.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's great, man.
Tell us a little bit more about the offspring. Get into a little bit more on what this is about here.
Yeah, so the three main characters, they all in their childhood had some sort of physical, mental, emotional trauma. They were all
Yeah.
abused physically or mentally by their parents. They come to be taken away by child services and sent to an alternative school. They don't really have orphanages anymore, so I wanted to come up with a charter school, an alternative school setting for them to be able to meet each other. They start to realize, and as the story goes through, we do little flashbacks to show little snippets of them growing up together. They come to realize that not only do they have a mental link with each other, but they all seem to start forming at a young age these superpowers. The first 4 pages of issue 1 show one of the main characters, Sarah, using her powers for the first time, and it ends up being okay for her, but it takes her down a path of just making bad choices. So the next time we see her, she's getting out of jail for the first time in 2 years. So, like I said, meeting these characters at the lowest form in their lowest point in their life. The other character, Vince, we meet him when he's contemplating suicide. So there's some heavy themes there. It gets lighter as it goes on. Vince is one of those characters that says the wrong thing all the time, to comedic effect, I hope. And then Will is, like I said, that strong character who you think he's physically and mentally strong, but you start to see those cracks form as the story goes on. They come to realize that they are not only forming these superpowers, but they're also forming a bond together, and they always kind of come back to each other. And they start to kind of realize as it goes on that they're a kind of a conduit for monsters and dark forces and demons coming to them to try to destroy them. And as the story progresses, we realize why. Issue 13 answers 12 and 13 answer a lot of questions, but I put up a lot more questions because why not? Because it's fun doing that. So issue 13 finishes off a lot of the questions from the entire first 13 issues, but then answers asks a whole bunch more questions. And issue 14 on for season 2, they start to realize that they are missing a member of their clique. And with that member of their clique missing, they're not as powerful. Their powers haven't manifested to be as strong as they could be. So issue 14 starts off their trek to be able to find this fourth missing member that they barely now remember meeting as children. So I'm in it for the long haul on this one. This is every single issue was planned out, ready to go, and I'm hoping, fingers crossed, 100 issues if I can make it.
Wow.
So it's
ambitious. I love it.
A lot of people, are you making it up as you go on? No, I've got it all planned out.
Man, we're rooting for you.
Seriously.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that 13 issue book. That sounds like an awesome thing to get your hands on.
I've got the cover actually ready to go. I am the inks for the cover. Here's the cover for 13. I hold it steady so everybody can see it.
Beautiful.
Yeah,
that's nice, man.
Thank you.
Nice.
Very
you start to see some of those demonic characters that are kind of chasing them.
I like the dolphin in the jacket.
The demonic porpoise.
Yeah, I always get porpoise. Yes, I always get comments about that one. Yeah, I love that guy. He's awesome.
Fun.
Yeah, it's great. And what's wonderful about a big trade paper like that is the fact that it gives your reader a chance to really, really get invested in the story and the characters.
Yeah.
As opposed to just putting out a single issue where you can't necessarily. I mean, you hope with that you can hook people right away. If you can get if you can get them to read, a trade paperback, 12, 13 issues. Oh my goodness, you're gonna have them hooked.
Yeah, we got Preston in the house. Hey, what's up, brother?
Preston, exit only as of Vado in the hizzy for shizzy.
What's up, Doc? Somebody had to say it. Come on.
What? What's up, Doc?
I'm confused. Is there
Yeah,
we got a
everybody go
rapper?
back.
What is that? Some beat poetry? What's going on here?
And if I may just interject very quickly, that our friend Preston has just hit 10K club with his book
Yes.
Doc Salem.
Nice.
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. The
Congratulations.
5-figure club. He's officially a 5-figure comic book crowdfunder.
I want to
Good.
Do it.
throw a little props at Chris there too. 30,577.
Yes, we wrapped up our campaign yesterday, Sunday.
Florida
yeah,
Man? Yeah, Florida
man.
Man.
We crossed the 30K. It was nice.
Why don't
Chris,
we transition to that? Let's make a quick little.
Hey, okay. I'm not going to stop you.
That's
Chris,
still on.
please,
I
please,
don't need to take
please
over your show.
it's all good.
Uh-oh.
Chris, please tell me that you went in demand.
We did. Yeah, we are
Yes.
in demand. Yeah,
Yes.
we are in demand. We are in demand till till the book's ready. Probably. We've got. The reason I'm so curious about Kickstarter is we did not offer a digital tier for Florida Man, and that was basically at the advice of another creator who's had a lot of success on Indiegogo. Yeah, there's my boy. And he was like, man, you want to put books in people's hands. And I kind of agree with that. I've got, 1,000 digital comics and I don't read digital. I mean, I just got them because, Marvel would give the offers or I would jump on some humble bundles. But we did offer a digital copy if you bought like the autograph pack and and the beach party bundle. But we didn't just have it, like where you could buy just the digital. And I think we're going to do that with Kickstarter.
Worldwide, though, right?
Say again, Pops?
You're shipping worldwide, though, right?
Yeah.
See,
we're about to get we're about to get screwed. Yeah, big time.
The thing I like about the PDFs right now, with the very uncertain prices in worldwide shipping and books sitting on docks and not getting taken to where they're supposed to go.
Yeah.
And PDF looks real good right now for the worldwide audience.
Yeah. That's true.
I know the guy that you're talking about, Chris, and I politely disagree with him when it comes to digital downloads. I think some people are worried about piracy. Look, you can pirate a book with a phone app. Okay?
It takes 5 minutes to copy an entire novel.
Yeah.
So imagine a comic book.
Yeah, well, I think, and so given that, I think that's what we're going to kind of emphasize on a Kickstarter run.
No, that was last weekend, Dillard.
What's going on? Oh,
this is a 24/7 convention, Dillard. That's what it is.
This is like a convention.
Absolutely,
this is like a convention. Yeah. But we Florida Man came in. We quadrupled our budget, which was great, and the budget was set to pay for everybody because. We got letterers, colorists, all this, and they aren't invested in the project. They just want to get paid. And Mike's a professional, and he wanted to hire professionals. Except for our artist Todd has done a little professional work. I'm no professional at all, so I'm just editing. So all the misspellings, you can just blame them on me.
Hold up. Hold up.
Wait a minute. Pops, you went in.
Awesome marketing package. This video, all this stuff that really grabbed a hold of people. Yeah. Thank you, bro.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's why Mike came to me. Mike was a fan of the website and of Bleeding Fool, and he and I kind of exchanged some emails back and forth, and he showed me the cover. And that's the cover right there with the play button on it for the video. That's the cover. Todd Mulrooney did that cover. It's freaking awesome. It tells you everything you need to know. We've all heard Florida Man, the meme, right? Florida Man takes an alligator into the beer store. Florida Man is gonna kills his neighbors with kindness. His machete is called kindness. Things like that. I mean, it's just crazy stories. You can take the Florida Man challenge right now and just type your birthday and the word Florida Man, and you'll get a story from that day.
Yeah. Oh no! Every day there's at least 5 stories about somebody from Florida doing something crazy.
Yeah. So this is sort of the story of a guy that he's not always down on his luck, because sometimes he's super lucky. In this graphic novel, he does at some point hit the lottery and of course, all hilarity ensues. This is just bringing back funny books. Mike Barron, the writer, is legendary. He wrote the first volume of The Punisher, like the first 50 or 60 issues, which I picked up for a steal at my local comic shop. They had this big fill a long box for $40 deal. And man, I just combed through all these issues and found at least 30 of those. And I got he wrote a Magnus Robot Fighter yearbook, and he wrote The Flash. Nexus, of course, is his creation.
Yeah, Nexus is it's like his greatest creation, I think.
Absolutely. And of course, Badger. And so this is his next big creation. And this is a funny book. So this is not, superheroes. If this is a superhero book, he's the worst superhero ever. And I'm from Tennessee. It's got some Southern charm. It pokes a little fun at Southerners, but it also, I think Southerners will enjoy it too, because it pokes a little fun at the city folk, the Northerners. There's something for everybody. It's not political at all. It's not superheroes. It's really. It's a funny book, so we're bringing back funny books, like the video says. And
if you want,
I've actually
got my attention. Play that.
Yeah.
We're gonna play the video. We are gonna play the video. I was actually bummed because we had Mike on last week with Todd and Chris. And I had a million questions for Mike about Punisher and all these other things, and we were so busy talking Florida Man, none of those questions came up at all.
Well, Mike will do the show again if you invite him in a couple of weeks. I mean, now, especially now that we're out of campaign mode. But Mike's a writer. He's writing every day. He's got other projects he's already begun work on. He's very prolific. Mike believes that writing, you should be writing every day if you're a writer, and he does. And he is so funny. Mike is just, he's really hilarious. I don't know how he got into writing superheroes, but he's a great writer. He's always very quick with jokes. He sends me messages on Facebook all the time. And you can follow him on Twitter at Bloody Red Baron. He's hilarious. He really is. I'm so thankful to be on this project.
He's really intelligent. Really
he's brilliant.
Well, what I love about Mike is that there's two Mikes, and one of them it writes like some serious, often dark stories, and then there's Naughty Mike, and this is from Naughty Mike.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? That's like an impish side, and this is his impish side clearly. And what I love about this too is that it looks like it's not mean-spirited. It looks like it has some heart to it. Because if you don't get personally invested in the characters, you're gonna lose interest no matter how much wacky stuff is happening.
It's not pratfalls. It's not those kinds of jokes. It's really, I've described it this way before. It's sort of a Rube Goldberg machine. There's so much to it. It's so layered, and there's all this stuff that works together that a single panel will make you laugh, but only because you've read all this other stuff coming up to it. And it does have heart. Gary Duba is the lead protagonist. His buddy Floyd. Floyd's the guy selling the moonshine hand sanitizer in the kegs and the pinup a little further down. And his girlfriend Crystal. And Crystal is kind of heroic in this, in that she's kind of a badass in all of her sequences, but she gets in more trouble than Gary does. These are people that just like to have a little too much fun, but they've all got hearts of gold. But they have their run-ins with the law. The local law enforcement know who they are. It's that kind of thing.
Yep.
Yeah,
but it's Southern fried, so it's all good. And the video trailer that Pops refers to is sort of themed on the Duke Boys. If anybody ever watched the Dukes of Hazzard, Whalen Jennings was the narrator of that show. Late great, incredible musician, artist that he is. Yeah. And so we kind of went with sort of that vibe with this trailer, and I think it sort of encompasses the quintessential Florida man. And ever since, thank God we got out of campaign mode. I'm glad we ended it, because Todd Mulrooney, man, he was just campaigning hard. He was fierce about it, and now I've finally been able to calm him down and say, okay, quit campaigning, get off the live streams, and get back to drawing. Because unlike this Mojo Risen, this book's not quite finished. We got several pages done, but we're not quite there. So he's got to get busy, and it's a good place to be if the book's finished. I promise you. You guys are in a very, very good position.
Yeah, and Todd can really draw those cars. He sent me a picture of that van before he tweeted it out.
Oh, sure, the pest control van.
Yeah, and I was like, I responded immediately. I was like, that's an awesome early 70s van. My guess would be 1972. And he came back. Yep, 1972. Yep.
Yeah, man, he does draw cars. He's so good. I don't think there's a car on our face. There's just that truck, the colored, the no parking sign, the truck, if you want to show that. But yeah, that's probably one of his strengths too, is being able to draw the cars. He's really good at it.
There's the Volkswagen van here.
And stay right there for a second with Crystal. I wanted to point something out. Does she not look like some Frank Frazetta gal from an Andy Cap type cartoon? I mean, it's beautiful.
Oh, the Daisy Dukes.
Oh yeah, got the Daisies on. Yeah, and come on down to Floyd's in the Humanity Sale. There's a little bit of play on what's going on currently. In 20 years, I don't know that anybody's going to look at this and even know what the heck that means. So there is some stuff.
Here's, let me tell you right now, the fact that this book is coming out in 2020,
yeah,
and 2020 is scarred with the pandemic, so toilet paper and sanitizer, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Everybody's gonna know. 2020 has a deep
have a little asterisk next to it.
Yeah, definitely. This is one for the history books. So yeah, that truck, I think you guys determined what that truck was. That's the splash there.
Yeah, it's a 1953 F-150.
Yeah. He's so good at that. And he's got one without inks down near the bottom, I think, too. Todd's real good. We don't have our letters yet either. But Gary that's his girlfriend wrestling. That's a new drawing. I don't know if you saw by Barry McLean that more selling.
Find there we go.
There you are. That's what we're after. Yeah, man, that's sharp. He's good.
Yeah, Todd's really impressive. Yeah. What I thought was interesting was when we had him on, he was really, really quiet.
Yeah.
And then once he started talking, it was like the dam bursting. He was talking about all the artists that influenced him.
Yeah.
And it was just like, oh wow, like this is an interesting dude. Somebody that's very, very dedicated to his craft.
Still waters run deep, but once you break that dam, he's all about talking. Yeah, he is. So this is Barry McLean. Go ahead.
Let's give the video again.
Yeah, why not? Let's give it a whirl.
Absolutely.
Hey man, y'all got beer still?
You've seen the stories. Now, writer Mike Barron and artist Todd Mulrooney are bringing the quintessential Florida man, Gary Duba, to life. Gary's just a regular guy living in a trailer with his girlfriend Crystal, but he's got dreams, big dreams. He just invented house suspenders that will secure any home to the ground in rough weather. And now he's going to show them off on Piranha Pool, the TV show where venture capitalists and entrepreneurs pony up if they like your pitch. But when his gal Crystal gains notoriety as an infamous amateur wrestler, she quickly advances to the pro circuit where her greatest challenge is an angry Australian grappler. Follow Gary and Crystal on their extraordinary journey from rags to riches, to rags to riches, to rags to riches, all while dealing with shady lawyers, toilet snakes, wild gators, cheating hearts, feral hogs, and problem shoppers. Back Florida Man today and reserve your very own copy of the Florida Man graphic novel. We're bringing back funny books, y'all.
Now that's marketing.
That's awesome.
Killer.
That's marketing.
Oh,
that's how you get somebody's attention, man.
Yeah, thanks, Pops. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, that was
Chris. Seriously, you've knocked it out with this campaign, man. You've done something really wonderful for Mike and Todd, and something just for comic book fans.
Thanks, Brian. I appreciate it. To me, this is I'm a superhero fan. Conan. I mean, back here I've got the Marvel's been putting out their Savage Sword omnibus and so on. I mean, that's my thing. I like Spider-Man. I'm a big fan of the Hulk and all that kind of stuff. But this to me is something I think that the comics medium needs. I mean, I never go to a comic shop and buy just one comic. So this ought to be in your bag, in your stack. Fortunately, we are talking to a couple of publishers, perhaps. This will be at the comic shops, but it's been such a tremendous blast doing it on the crowdfund. Mike's already got a second one we're ready to go. We'll do this. This was fun. And the crowdfunding thing is fun. And you're dealing directly with the customers, which is what's so cool about crowdfunding.
Yes.
The publisher, a publisher route, they're going to take a big chunk of that money.
Yeah.
And
Brian wants to show you his Conan sword.
Oh, let's see it. Oh my gosh.
Come! I've never prayed to you before. I do not have the tongue for it.
That's beautiful, Brian. And that's an excellent impression of Arnold.
It's
the
the
chopper.
Atlantean sword from
That's
Conan the
beautiful.
Barbarian and Conan the Destroyer.
Pops, you got to be loving that. Yeah.
Sorry. I couldn't.
You don't get it?
Thanks for indulging me there, Drew.
Oh, that's nice. Hey, isn't that part of being a comic book fan, though? Don't you like to show off your unique stuff to other comic book fans? Go, ooh, look at this thing that I've got that you don't have, probably. And, I don't know what that is, but now all my adult friends, most of them are not, at least the ones that are here locally that could come by and visit, they don't come by. So I guess I could show off my favorite comics on a live stream sometime. But
Absolutely.
they're not going to come to the house.
The funny part is that Raj and I met, and it wasn't through comics.
Tell us.
Please.
Oh, Raj is not happy.
We met in a music group. Okay, we met in a Facebook music group, and the argument was who's better, Sammy or Dave?
Dave.
Oh, I'm going to have to say Dave because I grew up with him, but Sammy does put on the show, man. I mean, that's a hard one.
Now, see, the whole thing is that, now I'll tell you, my favorite Van Halen album is a Dave album, but I like Sammy better as a showman. That's all. I mean, he came out, he joined the group, they got their first #1.
I would go with a different approach. I would say that for Van Halen, Dave was better, but when Sammy joined, it was no longer Van Halen. It was Hagar Halen.
Van Hagar.
Van Hagar. Yeah.
It was a different band. There's no doubt. Now, didn't they tour all together, or weren't they planning on doing some kind of tour?
Show.
Toured together. Dave and Sammy toured, but not with Eddie or the boys.
Not with Eddie, but they had Alex and Michael were both there.
Okay.
Eddie, but everybody else was. And then the Wabaritas, Sammy's band.
Yeah.
Mona was there. It was pretty cool because it was like Sammy came out and jammed with his people, and then Dave came out and jammed with his people, and Michael Anthony kind of did this and that. It was pretty cool.
Well, for me, Dave does epitomize Van Halen. When I first heard that growling guitar from Eddie, that was Dave. Dave was he brought the heat and the sex and the growl and the swagger to Van Halen. But when Sammy Hagar came on, what was great about it was, because we just presumed, because Dave was going on doing his own thing. As a matter of fact, I saw him on his Voodoo Smiles tour, and just the whole time was thinking, I'm trying to remember who played, not Steve Ray Vaughan.
Steve Vai.
Yeah, Steve Vai.
Yeah.
Steve Ray Vaughan's a better guitar player, but that's just an unpopular opinion. But I saw that tour, and it was fascinating, but I wanted more Van Halen, right? Because I was all about that. Jamie's Crying and Atomic Punk and all that. But
the thing is that we got in this argument.
Yeah.
Which wasn't really an argument.
You're friends.
We're fixing to get into an
We didn't know each other.
Here we go.
Matt.
Here we go.
Matt arguing about music, right?
Yeah.
And then it turned out we were both comic people.
Yeah.
And then it took on the friendship took on a completely different level. This guy has sent me some just bomb stuff,
Yeah.
I mean, autographs.
Oh, wow.
You're kidding me. Oh, sweet.
Raj is he's awesome.
Beautiful.
Zach Wild's awesome. So,
And if you look at my avatar, that's me in the book.
That's nice.
That's the character they turned me into, and that's what blew everything up, man. That's what blew up the group and made me want to promote what they were doing, which just snowballed into promoting everybody. It's been an amazing ride the last 9 months, man. Because of that dude mostly.
Bob's your hell of a promoter.
Right on.
I feel the love in the Temple of Fun right now.
Yeah.
Exactly. And that's all about, man. It's like you go to a convention. What's it about? It's about love. It's about mutual love and appreciation.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Not the old, the new ones. Yeah.
And now with that love fest, and let's transition and talk about some whispering because everybody's curious about this. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Wow.
My last comment about Sammy Hagar. My favorite
Yeah,
Hagar
go ahead.
song is Black and Blue. I could literally listen to that song
Yeah.
over.
That whole album, though, that whole album is like
Yeah.
an Al Green album.
Yeah. Now wait, Raj, are you saying that you don't like that song?
No, I love that whole album. That whole album is great.
Okay.
You're
All
not
right.
speaking
Because we were about to have a disagreement. I'm just
Yeah. It's gonna come down to fisticuffs.
All
I
right.
can tell.
Great album. I don't think it's the best of Sammy Hagar.
Now you
Okay,
know,
It's not my favorite.
That's why you don't show your face around here, Sam. That's
I do. Just not now.
just messing with you.
I know.
All right, so let's talk about these unburnt witches. Is that what
Yeah,
you
so
want to
I do have both
Oh,
articles
man.
queued if you need me to pull either one of them up. But obviously, I don't want to make people read, while they're
No.
watching a video. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So why don't you, for the people who are clueless as to what's going on, give us a quick summary on what the Whisper Network is?
Well, for a long time, I had been hearing about a Whisper Network ever since I started Bleeding Fool. Actually, before that, when I was just kind of looking into comic books, comic book news, comic book business, it fascinated me since around probably 2013. I started getting back into comics. I mean, I'm one of these people that I was big into comics when I was 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Got my learner's permit and got interested in other things. Came back around when I was in my late 20s. Got out of it when I got into my first marriage. Got back into it again, I guess, in my early 40s, and I've been in it ever since. And this time I went a little deeper as a business owner. I guess I was just more fascinated with the business. And I started noticing things. In my mind, things were great up until probably around 2012, 2013, 2014.
Yep.
And then I just started seeing a lot of, I don't know, it almost just seemed like comics, especially around 2015, 2016, they started getting really preachy. And I know that, people argue there's always been politics in comics. I mean, whatever. I guess it depends on how you loosely define politics. But I'm talking just when I see Nightcrawler eating a hot dog and saying tastes like bigotry. I mean, man, is that the best writer you could hire, Marvel? I mean, it's really just gotten bad. I wanted to. I like stories to be about action, fun, entertain me. I don't want to hear about Trump in an X-Men comic. I mean, seriously, I don't want to hear unless I'm watching the news. And I don't go to comics for that. So I kept seeing that over and over. And then I got on social media and would see some of the same creators attacking people, not quite being virtuous enough or not denouncing some bad behavior or something that they didn't agree with. And you just start seeing the same names over and over and over. And so I was visiting the website that we're kind of named after, Bleeding Cool. And I was one of these guys that used to go to the Outhousers. I liked Jude when he was at the Outhousers, and because he was just snarky. So I thought he might make a good fit for Bleeding Cool, but whatever. I'm not going to comment on that. But I remember I was on an article that was touting how great this brand new comic is that has all this diversity and inclusion and tolerance in it, and I'm always been one of these people, just do a good story. And if it's got diverse characters, great. If it doesn't, if I'm still entertained, that's great. I mean, I don't scan the skin color or the nationality or the sexual preference of the newest Avengers team. I don't really care, right? I mean, if it's a cool character, I don't care what their nationality is. I don't care what their religion is. I don't care if they like men, women, or non-binary, whatever.
Yeah.
And so my comment, and I was kind of not really real frequent commenter, but I would comment, and some of my comments on Bleeding Cool's comment sections were kind of salty sometimes. I know it's a shock. And I made the comment on this diversity article that said, isn't it fascinating that when Chris Claremont came out with X-Men 94, that the Marvel's marketing department didn't have to tell everybody how diverse the team was, and it didn't say it anywhere in the book or on the cover. It was just a great story with great characters and became one of the hottest properties Marvel had. And up until then, any of my comments would get thumbs down, thumbs up. Some people would push back. Some people would be hell yeah, whatever. Well, that comment got nothing. And not to pat myself on the back, but I thought it was a pretty good point. And the more I thought about it, I thought, you know what, let me log out of my account here. And I logged out, and sure enough, the comment wasn't there when I logged out. And I realized I had been shadow banned for that comment.
Yeah.
And I thought, wait a minute. I didn't cuss anybody. I didn't insult anybody. And if you want to see people insulting people, you can go to their comment section. It's wide open for that kind of stuff, that kind of behavior. But I thought, wait a minute, I'm just proving a point here. And I thought it was a pretty good point. And what they did was, in their opinion, apparently it's wrong think. Right? You don't need to bust our narrative. Yeah, I busted their narrative really with the wrong opinion. And so it was that day that I said, you know what? I'm going to take the piss out of bleeding cool, and I'm just going to start bleeding full, and I'm going to have an online journal, and I'm going to let these people say whatever opinions they want. I mean, we've had guys and girls with different opinions post on this internet journal. I've got some guys that are Christian. I've got atheists. I've got people who are Trump haters. I've got people who are Trump supporters. But the one thing that we all have in common is a desire for good stories. We're not about diversity and inclusion. Have we got gay writers? Yes. Have we got black writers? Yes. Have we got Asian writers? Yes. I mean, but the thing is I don't have a checkbox or a quota for those people. If they're interested and they want to join the pirate ship and hop on board and grab an oar, let's go. And if you go, if you go too far, or you maybe you do something outside of what might be acceptable behavior, maybe we'll part ways. We did have to part ways with one writer who was pretty prolific last fall, but it was because he was attacking other creators without any cause on his social media. And I just said, man, this isn't cool. We can't be associated with that. But otherwise, we run a pretty loose ship. I shouldn't say tight ship. We don't really have a schedule of when things come out. We usually put out about 4 or 5 stories a day, sometimes 8 or 9, sometimes just 2. I think we only put out 2 or 3 today. But this Whisper Network thing just kind of came out of the blue. We've been around for 3 years, and we get anonymous tips a lot. Most of them don't chase down, but this one came in and had a lot of material with it. Material that once I saw that, I was like, whoa. This looks like a frickin' Pandora's box. I better make sure my legal team is paid up, on retainer before we put this out. So the first one, it came out, I think about 3 weeks ago, earlier in July. And that was after about 10 days of kind of combing through it to make sure that that we weren't going to be liable for anything. Because I feel like it's important to expose this hypocrisy. We had a really crappy hashtag for that first one. I think it was called the Hypocalypse or whatever. Obviously, the hashtag that's taken off is Whisper Network. It's not usually common for you to come up with your own cool hashtag, but I guess we tried. And actually, that was Penny. Penny Parker is the writer. That's not her real name. If you Google Penny Parker Wilt, you will see that Penny Parker was a sleuth character back in the 30s. And that's what this Penny Parker is. She's a sleuth, and she wormed her way into the secret Facebook group. And it's not a private Facebook group. It's not a closed Facebook group. It's an absolutely secret, meaning you can't find it. If you or I go looking, you will not see it. Which baffled me at first. I had to do a lot of research because Penny knew all these things that I wasn't aware of. And I'm like, well, I'm not so sure about that. Let me look into it. But it's a real thing. Secret groups are a real thing that you can have. And you only can see them if you've been invited into them from another group member. And you have to be invited, and then B, one of the admins, which there's a handful of admins, there's more moderators, but admins are the ones that can shut down any conversation happening, can throw anybody out that they want to. And the admins have to approve your invitation. And then you can see everything. Well, somehow Penny got through the process and got in. And I don't know if she did it intentionally trying to get in to get this information, or if she got there and I see pops, or if she got there and just suddenly goes, oh my gosh, these wicked women are saying things I can't believe. I'm inclined to believe you too, Pop. Agree with you, Pops. But nonetheless, she got this stuff and just started screenshotting as many things as she could, and tying it all together and explaining who the people were, and what's so incredible. Listen, there's more. I mean, there's more to come. And so we put out that first one, and it was like a bomb went off. Suddenly, all these women were like, "Oh yeah, Whisper, it's I'm the queen of the Whisper Network or whatever." And if you saw part 2, you saw where Todd Mulrooney himself actually posted something about the female Whisper Network members, and Amy Chu started laughing like, "Oh yeah, I'm a card carrying." Whatever. What turns out, Amy Chu is one of the admins of this group. She's one of the ones that can throw you out or keep you in. There's several, and so is the editor-in-chief at Oni Press, and so is the there's a lot. I mean, there's more to come. I don't want to tell you guys everything I know. Obviously, I want you guys to keep going and visiting, and if you see an advertisement on there you want to click, hey, be my guest. But there's a lot more to come, and I think dripping it out like this too. Here's what my hope is. My mission's not to make money. Yeah, we've seen a lot more traffic, and thankfully, we've got this PayPal donation button down near the bottom. We kind of bury it, but at the bottom of our page, over on the right-hand side, just above the archives, there's a donate button, and we had a couple of people donate and say, "Keep bringing the Whisper Network articles," because I think what's happened is, a lot of these women who are in the network are these same women that will tell somebody like Scott Snyder, "You didn't disavow Comicsgate fast enough, Scott," or "You didn't come out against this hate movement quick enough," or "We don't believe you when you make this pledge that you're going to stop grooming," or when you see it happening in the comic book business. And now let me just say something that makes me sick about all of it. This is what truly makes me sick. It's one thing I don't want women to be harassed. I don't want trans people to be harassed. I don't want minorities to be harassed. Hey, I don't want white men to be harassed, right? I don't want anybody to get harassed. I want people to be able to create their books and entertain people. I want the books and the creators to rise and fall on the merit of the work and on whether or not the audience accepts it, right? I mean, giving Gabby Rivera, one of the most racist writers I've ever seen on social media, a book that's basically just not amalgam, but an avatar for her beliefs and philosophies. Well, no wonder the book sank like a stone. It floated about as well as a Led Zeppelin. So I threw that in for you guys. But to come after some guy like Jay Lee, like Tom King did. Tom King is one of these Whisper Network allies. You can tell it's almost like it's getting, now that we've revealed that this is actually happening, that this is actually real. I think scales are falling off people's eyes. People are almost kind of being what they call red pilled. Like, what? This is really happening? I used to just kind of think these people that this was just coincidence. But hey, guess who said they were stepping away from DC on Monday morning after our Whisper Network dropped on Thursday afternoon? None other than Scott Snyder.
No.
Yes.
Because he, in that article, I've read the whole thing. By the way, people, that rabbit hole goes deep.
Oh, man. I think Ethan Van Sciver read the whole thing on air. It took him 2 hours. Nick Rakita went through it that night. It took him 4 hours. I mean, it's crazy. And the thing is, it is dense. It's dense. And it's probably more fun to let Ethan Van Sciver read it than to you actually read it. But whatever. The thing is we're not looking for clicks. We're not a clickbait site. We're not like CBR or Screen Rant or any of the IO9 or the Mary Sue or the Beat. I mean, these are all garbage tier. And to me, I guess being in media, the thing that fascinated me the most about this particular article, because there's really 4 bombs that goes off in the second article. The first article is mostly just a tease. It's like a strip show, right? And she finally shows you the goodies at the end. But this one is more like there's 4 points of interest in my mind. The first point of interest is that Bill Willingham, the legendary creator of Fables, very highly revered, Eisner Award winning, back when Eisner Awards actually meant something. He publicly accused his assistant. She was his assistant for 3 years. Accused her of thievery, of embezzling over $10,000 of his money to fund her own projects, to double pay her salary, and so on. And I'm very tickled that guys like Richard Pace and others are out there saying that it didn't happen. I hope they keep saying that.
She fled Canada. For crying out loud. She left the country.
She left the country. She never sued him. She's never answered for those charges. And that's still an open and pending case. So this is Stephanie Cook, who started Creator Resources, who's currently writing for Image Comics. So that's the first bomb. Okay. That the reason that's a bomb is because none of us knew it. None of us was told about this. You don't know about this story because the media completely buried it. That's the second bomb. The second bomb is that our namesake, Uncle Rich, wrote an article about this because Bill, the only reason Bill ever spoke up publicly, because he was just going to keep it a private matter, he spoke up publicly because Stephanie was advertising his services. After he dismissed her, she was advertising her services to other pros and using Bill as sort of this is my work history. I've done that for him. Let me do it for you. And he finally said, I'm not going to let this snake hurt other peers of mine that I respect. The only thing I can do is I'm going to put out a press release. And he sent a public statement to Rich at Bleeding Cool, and Rich published it, and it turned out to be, this was September 2015, around the 22nd, 23rd, but it was the number 11 most read story that week. He used to do a top 20 stories of the week. It was the number 11 most read story, right behind 3 stories about Bleeding Cool attacking Frank Cho and some other Alex DeCampi story about anonymous men in the comics business that are harassing women. So she's singing the same song for years. Well, what Penny showed us, and you go to the article, you'll see all this, but when you go click on that link, which is still there, that top 20 article still there, and we've archived it just in case. When you click on it, that story's gone. It says, oops, what you're looking for is not here. So Rich published the story, published Bill Willingham's press release, and then afterwards after it got a whole lot of traffic, he deleted it without telling anybody why. And I looked on ICV2, IO9, Comics Beat, CBR, every, even Comics Alliance, which is now defunct, Newsarama, which is now Games Radar. I went to all the major sites. The Beat, nothing. And they'll write about Bill Willingham. Could you imagine if Gail Simone had put out a press statement about her assistant of 3 years stealing $10,000 from her? You don't think that would be in the news? Absolutely. It was in the news when Stan Lee's assistant was stealing money from him. In my mind, it was a clear decision by the mainstream media to ignore the story. And what I found fascinating, and that's the second bomb. To me, the third bomb was that Heidi McDonald, who's also a card-carrying member in the Whisper Network and is the managing editor over at The Beat, Comics Beat, another very popular comics news website, she did an interview with Stephanie Cook. And it was all about Stephanie Cook talking about transparency, the need for transparency in the comics industry. And I'm thinking, you can't make this up, that she's talking about transparency, but Heidi doesn't ask about the embezzlement charges. But somebody in the comments section did. Somebody said, hey, did that situation with Bill Willingham's embezzlement charges ever get resolved? And nobody answered. And now those comments are closed. The comment's still there. You can see it, but the comment section for that article is closed. And you might think, well, maybe she just didn't want to talk about it. Well, what's interesting is 6 months before she did that story with Stephanie, she did want to talk about a man who was getting thrown out of a comics retailers group for embezzlement. So it's newsworthy if the man does it. But if you're in the Whisper Network, maybe having friends in the Whisper Network, they're friends with benefits, is what I think. So that was an interesting aspect. And then, of course, the fourth bomb was that Penny started assembling what looked like little bleeding paper cuts that they started attacking Scott Snyder with. Yeah. Everything from his pledge to not denouncing Comicsgate. Heather Antos went after him, Campy went after him, Cook went after him, and so on and so on. And so Penny was putting all this together saying, Scott Snyder's going to be your next victim of the Whisper Network. And that came out Thursday afternoon, about 4 p.m. Eastern. And Monday morning, Snyder put out an announcement that he was backing away from his responsibilities at DC. He was still going to work with him, but he was going to pursue some of his own stuff. Now, listen, Scott Snyder's no fan of Bleeding Fool. He's certainly not a Comicsgate supporter or anything like that.
Doesn't matter.
No. The thing is I don't care what your politics are. I like your work, right? And I think that's one of the reasons that Comicsgate had a rise, because you had guys like Dan Snyder, Nick Spencer, Rick Remender, and so on. Mark Waid, that were just bashing fans that they disagreed with politically on social media. And that takes me back to my original thing, what I think is so gross. If you've got a problem with Scott Snyder, go to him directly. Don't publish it in front of your 120,000 followers to virtue signal that you're better than Scott Snyder. Why isn't Scott Snyder doing better? Do better, Scott. It's ridiculous. Twitter has really become sort of a cancer on our just conversation. Why can't we just talk about comics? Why does Dan Slott have to hate on his fans on social media? It's just stupid.
Well, I would say that kind of activity on Twitter is something that we should learn to understand immediately as something toxic. They want to call things toxic that are not, they want to label toxic stuff, but true toxins are things that make you sick. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I mean, not just like you personally, but like that kind of stuff makes Twitter sick, right? Yeah. So when because truth of the matter is, what if everybody took that approach? What if everybody didn't like somebody for some other reason, and then also they accuse somebody of being a pedophile enough times on Twitter that somebody believed it? You know what I mean?
Right.
Or they accuse somebody of being a murderer or a rapist, or you know what I mean? Whatever horrible thing they could just no one's going to stop me from accusing somebody of these horrible things. You know what I mean? And I'm or anything horrible. You know what I mean? And we should be a little bit more respectful. Hopefully society on Twitter will learn to be a little bit more respectful. They probably won't. But.
I don't think it will, Drew. I think really they're not taking any prisoners. It's really they're going for the throat. They're going for blood, which is what kind of fascinated me about the Willingham thing, because Rich Johnston always goes for blood. He usually, once he gets a story, he doesn't shake loose. I mean, he just tears it apart.
Well, Twitter, the laws are interesting because they are still developing as far as social media. Mm-hmm. But like, say, for instance, certain websites over the years have changed the way they do things because of lawsuits.
Yeah.
Right. YouTube is the great example because they're the first ones to really start getting hit. You know what I mean? They had so many different lawsuits that they run their ship pretty strict now. You know what I mean? And if you send a cease and desist about anybody's video to YouTube, even if it's not legit, if you have a lawyer contact YouTube about a video, that video will go away.
Yeah,
it doesn't even matter if
now being weaponized against some of the more vocal YouTube critics.
Yes, it is weaponized that way, but the truth of the matter is it can be weaponized in every direction. You know what I mean? So like people are getting really delicate now when that same technique starts getting to Twitter. When Twitter starts worrying about lawsuits for real, You know what I mean? They're going to start crashing down. They've already started censoring things. They've been pulling things up because they've been getting cease and desist letters and lawsuits. Facebook, the same thing. They've been forced to, clean up their act a lot. And I think over time there'll be enough because there is a liability. You know what I mean? There really is. If you're going to give this platform, it's like if you put a bunch of people in a room, lock the doors, and give them all weapons. You know what I mean? You're kind of liable for if somebody dies. You know what I mean?
Just kind of.
So the liable argument is coming up a lot with these things. So I can see over time the social networks where like if something is at all provable conspiracy, provable lies, provable falsehood, not only will get pulled down, but the person who's responsible for posting will probably get removed as well.
Yeah.
And then those people will keep having to create new accounts with starting with zeros and ones, and eventually over time that will clean itself up, I think. But in this day and age when social media is still fairly new, you know what I mean, we're definitely going to be running through those growing pains.
I appreciate your hopefulness.
I got one thing to say about cancel.
Pops got something there. Yeah, go ahead.
People who deserve to be canceled will cancel themselves.
Yeah.
Nobody has to say nothing.
Yeah.
People who deserve to be canceled will do something stupid.
Yes.
Yep.
There
Nobody
it is.
wants to call nobody out, man.
There's no better purifier than the sunlight.
And I wanted to say, we have some people on the Facebook channel that have been chiming in the comments. And one of them happens to be the guy who drew the gator.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Jim O'Reilly's in the comments, and he was saying that the Whisper Network acts as a mainstream gatekeepers in the mainstream industry. And hats off to Chris for covering it. And
Seriously.
something about a milkshake story. And one of our other people that's going to be doing something for Mojo in the future, Yvonne Rivas Fournier, is also in the Facebook watching this and taking this all. Joe Tolliver, the guy who offered his format to CromCon to expand out, he's in the chat watching. So I just want to let everybody know we see you.
What up, Jim? What up, Joe? Thanks for tuning in.
Welcome.
Hey, everyone.
Hope to see you a lot.
Sorry, are you splitting? Oh, and you know what really kind of freaks me out about this story? I read the whole thing. I do recommend that people actually go and check it out. You need to see those screenshots. And particularly the ones where you see the little icons and you find out, like, oh, this person's an administrator, this person's a moderator, so on and so forth. The fact that, okay, people talk way too much about Yahtzees these days, but my mother grew up in the in Yahtzee-occupied Germany, right? And one of the things that happened was if you happened to be like walking through the woods, and if a bunch of the Hitlerjugend, the youth corps, were walking by and they said Sieg Heil, and you said Sieg Heil back, if you were just kind of like casual about it and just like, oh yeah, Sieg Heil, you would then think, oh my God, I wasn't enthusiastic enough. Am I going to get a visit from the block warden? Is somebody going to come knocking on my door? Am I going to take a train ride? The fact that they're going after people for not being stridently against Comicsgate enough, for not, right?
Yeah, they went after Scott because he said, hey, I haven't been on social media much this weekend, but it should go without saying I'm against this bigotry and blah, blah, blah. Enough. It just wasn't enough. No, it wasn't quick enough. You need to be on Twitter 24/7 like we are. Yes, we are. These harpies that are constantly chasing down every cis male we can find in comics to bend the knee to us. It's sick. Yeah, it's sick.
Let's make sure that we're clear. Everybody who's watching right now, even though this is a bunch of straight white men sitting here, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? We're really not.
Who says I'm straight? Are you?
You know what?
You're misgendering me.
Don't make those assumptions.
I'm not making the assumption. I was just throwing it out there as the label. You know what I mean?
I know.
You know.
No, I mean, breaking your balls.
Plus, there's Brian.
Listen, we've got gay writers, we've got minorities, people of color that write.
Oh my God!
This is not an issue about that, obviously.
No, we don't care.
And let's be clear. Like the Whisper Network loves to attack Comicsgate. Okay.
Yeah.
And they like to call Comicsgate a hate group. And I
Sure.
admit at one point there's a lot of people in Comicsgate that are just straight haters. You know what I mean? But
Yeah,
they're
sure.
not creators.
Right.
They're just fans that are sick of this bullshit and they
Yeah.
want to fucking hit somebody. You know what I mean?
They hate what's been happening so much that they've become sometimes a little overzealous.
Yeah.
It happens.
It's really hard in the opposite direction.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is that you're going to have a spectrum of people in any kind of community, in any kind of group. And then the most raunchy, most gross voices are going to be the loudest, even if they're not the most popular. So it's just important that everybody understands, even though CG gets those labels, CG is not a hate group. CG is as diverse as any other community out there. There are black, there are white, there are Asian, there are men, there are women, there's gay, there's straight, there's everything in CG, and everybody is welcome, and nobody gives a fuck about any of that.
Yeah, CG is not a specific group; it's an ideology. So
right,
you get behind it or you don't.
It's a philosophy. Yeah.
Right.
But I get what you're saying too, Brian, regarding the badges. I think one of the great things about the way that Penny has done these articles so far is that they're sort of layered. It's like a layer cake. So as you start going down, you might at first go, okay, but it just sort of folds back into itself a little bit. And then when you realize, when you actually see those badges and what they mean, then you go, oh my gosh, the very first thing she talked about in this article just took on a whole new meaning.
Absolutely.
It's clever. Yeah, she's clever.
You're talking people on both sides of the spectrum, okay? Now, I started my group 9 months ago, and the only real major rule is no hate. You don't get to talk crap about nobody's project or about anybody, right? Now, we're 9 months in. I've maybe booted 5 people. 1,400 people.
That's good.
Just fine. Nobody argues. There's no politics, no religion, no crap. I tell everybody, you got a page for that. You got a personal page for your personal opinion. This is about networking, promoting everybody, building everybody up. And if you don't want to back that project or build that project up, just scroll on by it till you find one you like. Because I don't exclude anybody unless they attack me personally. So if you don't see one of your friends' books rolling around in the group, either I've never seen it before, show it to me, or if you show it to me and I say, yeah, no, that guy already blew his shot, he's going to have to come to me himself and talk to me about being part of our group again. You know,
and I bet you'll show him mercy if he's straight with you or she's straight with you.
Dude, it's about networking, and I want everybody to be successful.
Yeah,
me too. I don't care what your politics are, who you got dragged through your bedroom. Not my business.
Right.
Not my business. Promote good books, produce good books, write good books, give me good art, give me a story I want to buy when you give me another story.
Yeah.
Period.
Exactly. You know what? Here and the truth of the matter is, comic books should be about comic books. It shouldn't be about who's fucking writing the comic book. It shouldn't be about fucking who the comic book fucking is published by. It shouldn't be fucking about who fucking hates the comic book or who endorses the comic book. It should be about the book.
That's good. Subreddit, okay? They went after Florida Man.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Hey, but that was the Streisand effect. That worked out in our favor, though, Pops.
It did. I got mad that day when I saw that. I went straight to my buddy Barry and, yo, man, we got to get these guys on the show.
Yep, it worked out. It was that was a good run. That was a good run. That probably that put us in triple 5 digits. Yeah.
Oh my God! There are certain campaigns that have blown up huge because of those resentment bucks. Yeah. If anything, they're actually kind of helping us.
Mike has been part of CromCon since the first one in April. Okay, you were not going to do that to my friend. Okay, and I didn't even know Chris at the time, and I didn't even know Chris was the campaign manager. I didn't know nothing about none of that, and didn't care. Mike's a good dude, wrote a good story. Buy it.
Yes.
And what did Mike? You remember what Mike said when they asked him about it on the show? He said, "I don't even know what Reddit is."
But you see, that's really pernicious about this. about this internet cancel culture too, right?
Yeah.
Tom King goes after Jay Lee. Jay Lee is like I'm not on Twitter. Well, guess what? You better be on Twitter now, right? Doesn't that send a message to people? You better be on Twitter. You better express certain opinions. If you're just like, you know what? I don't want anything to do with any of the social media bullshit. You might get canceled just for that.
Bring it, baby.
Yeah, it almost sounds like a new.
I got all kinds of fucked up opinions. You know what I mean? I hope no one cancels me.
Oh, me too. Yeah. Can I just really quick hail Phil chats? Everybody go check out Lost Pages. Back that. And Jim O'Reilly says some really interesting comments here. He said they are using the term hate group to attach a label to something they hate and to call it to be a search result on the internet. So when someone searches Comicsgate, what comes up? Hate group.
Yeah.
New person, away. Yeah, absolutely. You know, I've lost friends because of my association with Comicsgate because they won't do 5 minutes of research to find out what the real story is.
That's actually an old technique that they've been using since there was like Twitter and internet. You know what I mean? Because like if you remember back when McCain was running, they attacked what's his name, the hardcore Catholic guy that was running. I forget his name right now. Sweater vest dude. Anyway. They used his name to mean something else because he was against gays. You know what I mean? So the gay community like turned his name into a fucked up thing. So whenever you search him, yes. So they turned his name into something fucked up on the internet. Because they didn't like him, because they didn't like his idea of politics. So they're going to fucking taint his name on the internet. I'm just saying, it's like whether or not you agree with him or not doesn't mean that you got to fucking, like do that. Because what are you asking for? If you're going to play that kind of hardball, then if somebody like that gets elected, you know what I mean, and they want to come after you, you know what I mean. So it's don't play like that.
I think in that case that wasn't as calculated and mean spirited.
Oh no, that was calculated. In fact, no, that was calculated and mean spirited. Just so we're clear. That was intentionally because there was a whole like if you go down and look at it and how this is media marketing on the internet is something that I do. Yeah. So I when that happened, I went and looked at what caused. You know what I mean? I went and looked and did the searches and saw what came up and what were the things and what the rankings of these pages were and how that and they actually hired professionals to go out and do this attack. It was a reverse popularity campaign. Those are things that people do now.
For a while. The problem with this is that it's infected all of entertainment.
Oh God!
It's just catching the last end of it. Okay. This has been part of the music industry, part of Hollywood, part of all of entertainment for a long time. And there's always been that kind of gatekeeping control. I mean, look at the people that talk out against it, Yeah,
there's always been gatekeeping. There's always been gatekeeping. It's just now it's gotten to a point to where the gatekeepers are on a different platform doing it different ways, and they're playing a lot dirtier. I mean,
and there's a financial incentive too. I think we give them too much credit.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. You gotta just shut that crap down, man.
Mm-hmm. That's what we're trying to do, man.
If they say it about you, ignore it. Do not respond. Give them nothing to work with. Go on about your business. It's not gonna affect your fans. Your fans know who you are. As soon as you go out and apologize or double down, you're creating more problems for yourself.
Yeah, if you capitulate to them, you're feeding their hate.
It's like I keep saying, I
have no association with Comicsgate. I'm also not a damn warrior. Okay, I believe in just have everybody entertain us. We're fans. We want to be entertained. We don't want to be lectured. We don't want to be talked down to. We want to be entertained. And that's my affiliation right there.
That's the ultimate goal of somebody that pokes at you, right? It's to get you pissed or get your attention.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, and the thing is we've seen the people who do bend the knee, they don't get anything out of it.
They just get slammed by both
They just
sides.
get slammed
Yeah.
again. Right?
In fact, they usually end up getting squished out of the fucking business. I've noticed the people that end up getting slammed by both sides, they stop popular. Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. I think we give these people too much credit when we assume, and I've been guilty of this, when we assume that everything they're doing is motivated by ideology. I think a lot of it is motivated by financial reasons. I think they're taking out the competition. They're like, this guy has a job that belongs to me, that should belong to me. They're the most entitled group of fucking whiners that I've ever seen in my life. And what are they doing? They realize that the market is shrinking, the jobs are becoming fewer and fewer, so they're taking out the competition, so they'll get those jobs.
Actually, what I've seen now, this is like, hold on, pops.
Do it themselves. They don't got the stack to go out there and do an indie book like Kev, like Raj. They don't got the stack, man. So they're trying to somebody else.
Yeah, I don't even know if it's about that as much as it is they saw a way to capitalize on an area to try and to basically control freak it. You know what I mean? Like for instance, it's like okay. So how, I mean, if you think back, there's like when it started blowing up, you know, like in any industry it was like, but the whole Me Too movement, you know what I mean, kind of opened up all these kinds of doors. You know what I mean? And then you would have creators who were getting like hit because they were sexual harassed at one point somebody, but it wasn't really that, it was something else, but they got accused of it. And what are they going to defend themselves? They're going to sound guilty the more they defend themselves. You know what I mean? So they're fucked. You know,
oh
just
my
because
God.
they were accused.
The Warren Ellis thing is ridiculous. He didn't do anything wrong. It's like they're expanding the list of crimes. They're creating new crimes.
Yeah.
So that they can get more and more and more industry professionals destroyed.
They also
And
changing
I
the
don't-
terminology of words so you can get in
Absolutely.
trouble. Yeah.
Yep.
Good point.
Yep.
Good point.
Yeah, and you know, I don't know when this is going to stop. I don't know when this is going to blow up in their faces. I'm hoping it will at some point. I'm hoping that one day they're going to mess with the wrong person and that it's going to... I mean, look, political correctness, I was in college when that shit started. By the time you got like into like the late 90s, boom, it was over. This is going to stop at some point.
Well,
and
let me tell you. I'll tell you how it'll stop. I'll tell you how it'll stop. This look, if Kathleen Kennedy fucking leaves fucking Disney, and she's replaced by somebody who does not share her philosophical approaches, right? That's going to change it, because she is probably the most powerful person in fucking multimedia right now.
Let's not talk hypotheticals. Let's talk how nervous Raj is. His book kicks off in 19 minutes. 21 minutes.
Are you nervous?
Hey.
Oh, dude, don't be nervous, man. You've got a great looking book, man. You've got a great looking book.
I haven't been nervous. This book's solid, man.
Yeah, that's
It is.
great.
I can't wait to read it.
And let's take a moment to make sure everybody knows to going back Florida Man on Indiegogo.
Hell yeah.
Mojo Risen, get on there. It's going to be on Kickstarter, launching really soon. Go and get that. The link is in the chat. And then make sure you go check out. I got to put the link in there. Correct Hand Comics, and you got books on Amazon. That's where you're selling your books, right? Amazon.
Find links to everything on correcthandcomics.com. Yep.
Yeah,
And
let me throw a link in there.
I want to give Chris a shout out because he gave me my first press release before Con 5. It took 5 months for somebody to pay attention. Chris was the guy who paid attention.
Oh, man.
So,
Too sweet.
I think there's another press release be jumping out there here like tomorrow, maybe.
Sure, send it out. Hey, Raj, see if you can crank out those answers, man, and I'll put something up tomorrow.
We've already sent it.
Did you? Okay, I was looking for it. I hadn't seen it yet.
Never mind. My bad.
Okay, cool. Well, that's fine. I'll just look at it in the morning.
So
and David, listen, if you want to send a press release about your stuff, shoot me something to contact. The email is contact@bleedingfool.com.
Sounds great, Chris. Thank you very much.
Yeah. And once again, hail Chris, what you've done for this community, for the indie comics community in general. You've shown us so much love, so much support. You just, you go out of your way to help promote our books, and I salute you for it.
Well,
Did you
thank
guys
you.
see this
We
big,
all do.
look at this
Thank
big
you.
grumpy fat cat on my desk?
Oh, that's awful.
Aw, can you rub that belly, or is that
Oh,
belly off
watch
limits?
what'll happen. Watch.
Okay.
It's a belly trap. It's a belly trap.
It's a
Hey guys,
belly
if you're
trap.
rubbing bellies, I gotta go.
David,
All right.
good to meet
Peace out,
you.
David.
David,
Thank you.
good.
Nice
Hey,
meeting you, man.
Starting to become a regular thing, Dave.
David, we'll bring you on again another time to talk more comics. Yeah,
That sounds
when is number 13 coming out?
13 is coming out. I'm tentative right now. The COVID stuff kind of messed me up a little bit, but I'm hoping by the end of this month or the beginning of September.
Okay, well, we'll definitely have you on around that time for sure, if not sooner.
Sounds great.
All
Thank
right.
you very much. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
thanks for coming,
Great,
man.
David.
Great
Nice
night,
meeting
guys.
you.
Oh, and Phil is now backer number 390 of Six Gun. Thanks, Phil.
Hey, yeah.
Thanks, brother.
You just doxed him. Maybe he didn't want people to
No,
know.
no. Is that what that is?
You
You
said
can
it.
erase that. Hey, Sim, did you send me? Did I send you a file request, or did you send me a high res version already of the pinup you did?
Oh,
You did
that's
send
so
me a
cool.
request, but I haven't touched it up yet.
Okay, I'll send you a request. Shoot me your email in that thread. I think it was on Twitter that we chatted.
How,
And I'll send
Grizz?
it.
Simon, do you have that handy? Because if you could show that off right now, that would
Yeah, that would be
bitchin'.
sharp.
Yeah,
that'd be fine.
because people need to understand that Simon drew this like while we had
Live.
Mike and Todd and Chris on.
Yeah.
Like it was like in
Yeah,
less than an
last
hour.
week.
Yeah, last
Yeah.
week. Yeah.
Hey, yeah, you can always go back and look at the archives. Drew's got a lot of good stuff, man. This
Most
channel's
definitely.
chock full of goodies. Listen, speaking of going, I got to leave here in a couple of minutes. The wife wants to watch a TV show before we go to bed, and I got to get up early. But man, I've had a blast tonight talking about this. Hopefully, we'll have some more to talk. Oh, there it is. This is the Florida man with his gator, and 2/3 of the 6-pack left. Yeah, that's sharp, man.
Well, thank you.
That's nice.
Oh,
That's
great.
nice. I love it.
Oh,
It's a rough pencil. I'm gonna clean it up a bit, and I'm gonna say.
Okay, yeah. I like
man.
rough pencil myself, but
I do too.
I'm an illustrator. I don't know if you guys. I don't mention it because I'm not that good. But oh yeah, look at that. Yeah, get in tight, man. That is so fat. I love it. And he
Is that
just
great?
cranked it out in like what 30 minutes. I think we were sitting there.
Well, you see, Chris, if you're an illustrator and you want some tips, there are people that I know that are like in the scene that would be happy to like sort of like nurse you along and
Yeah.
like give you some tips and stuff.
Yeah.
I know people that like they don't even talk about it, but they'll go out of their way and reach out to other creators and be like, "Hey, dude, you might want to try this, want to try that."
More critics, you mean? No.
No.
More
No.
critics.
I'm talking about people who are illustrators who are
Yeah.
maybe a little bit more experienced and are like trying to help people refine their craft.
Sure. Well, and I think that's.
And of course, he takes the opportunity to pitch Net the Merc while he was.
Hey, that's
sharing his
nice.
Why
screen.
not? Why not? Why
I
not?
tell you, I respect artists. I've got an art degree. I've always had a bit of skill at drawing.
By the way, I just want to apologize to everybody about the dotted lines that Grizz just kicked into the freaking chat. Just
Uh-oh.
she just.
Oops. Yeah, I see that. That's weird.
That's my cat. She was sitting on the.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Gosh,
How many cats do you have, Drew?
I have plenty of cats.
That's a top
Plenty.
secret.
That's a good number.
Are
Okay.
your notifications blowing up right now? Every time man, I got notifications, I got messages. It's like people are ready for this to launch.
Yeah, man, you guys are in the zone. You guys are in the zone. This is the fun time right here. This is the fun stuff.
Yeah.
Hey,
man.
everybody, how you doing?
Get off, guys.
What's up?
Hey, Jim.
What's up,
How's it
Jim?
going?
All right, Raj. Hey, good to meet you, man. Get those sent out, and good luck on the campaign, man.
Thank you.
It looks
Hey.
hot.
Talk to that man that did that cover right there, Jim O'Reilly.
Great.
Jim.
Hey.
Okay, Jim.
Chris,
Good to
first
meet
I want
you,
to
Jim.
Later, bro.
Killer,
before
man.
you go,
Killer.
I just want to say thank you for doing that story. I don't think people know how important and how behind the scenes important this is to indie comics, because Comicsgate is a growing group, and they are becoming, a very formidable force in the comics industry, especially now with things with COVID and all that stuff.
Sure.
And by this Whisper Network putting out this negative press towards Comicsgate, what it's doing is it's limiting the competition, and it's making it harder for independent guys that aren't as successful as like the Ethan Van Skyvers or the Dan Fragas.
Yeah.
It's making it harder for them to get their work out there and to get it seen by mass groups. And it's very important, because if you look at something, if you search for something on a search engine, every time, if you look for Comicsgate, the first words that'll pop up, the first articles that'll pop up, hate group.
Yep.
Regardless of whether or not now hate group is a huge thing, and I don't think they understand how this, because to be considered a hate group, basically you have to be listed on an FBI list.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Right.
just like as simple
It's
as
just an
you
insult.
just dislike somebody.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
a very serious charge. And to watch what happened with Jay Lee, how a man's career almost got totally destroyed, a 30-year career, because he drew a frog.
Yeah.
Yep.
Seriously, because
There it
he drew a
is.
frog.
Yep.
Had
I
nothing
love
to do
Jay
with
Lee.
had nothing to do
Jay
with
Lee
hate,
took
had
over.
nothing to do with racism, had nothing to do with sexism.
Yeah.
Because he drew a cover of a frog.
While Pencils Down was in action. Remember that.
Right.
There was no work to be done. And this guy
Yeah.
that took John Burns' Namor back in the 90s and just made it fire. This guy was so skilled. It's a shame. And listen, I go back to, and I appreciate your kind words, Jim. We're going to keep it up. We'll keep doing what we do. But I do want to say that it really dawned on me when I was talking to my wife about this Whisper Network and how the story was just kind of blowing up. And when I told her that the Twitter handle of one of the women, you all know who she is, but the Twitter handle called Unburnt Witch. And I thought to myself, if this is the kind of people we're dealing with, it would not surprise me if some of the women in this group of 400 and almost 450 women are casting spells and throwing curses at us. It wouldn't surprise me. Would it surprise you?
Not at all. Not at all. That's why I'm laughing.
I know. It's funny because it's true.
Exactly.
Wait, let me rethink this. They might actually enjoy Mojo.
Well, they'll enjoy it if they'll just pay attention to it. Yeah. But I don't think it's your people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so these are the kinds of people we're up against. So, I mean, why not just say that the people that have labeled Comicsgate a hate movement are really just a coven of witches? I mean, so when did witches suddenly become something good? I mean, they were always villains when I was growing up.
That show Charmed, I think it was.
Oh, I got you.
I used to date one, but they're like Wiccan. They're Wiccans. They're like earth worshippers. They're.
I don't know. I watched Sabrina a few times. It's back to witches now, I think.
It depends on who's saying it. I mean, the truth of the matter is the downfall of Christian morality. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
People embracing atheism. That kind of stuff has brought forth Wiccan and witchcraft.
It's mostly self-worship, though. If you think about it, it's pride.
It's paganism. It is.
Yeah.
And paganism is really a primitive form of religion. I mean, a lot of people don't realize that because it seems new and faddish, and some of the philosophies seem okay, but the truth of the matter is you don't know what you're fucking with.
Yeah.
I mean, if demons are real, guess what? They're fucking
playing with them. Yeah.
Well, I mean,
we're going everywhere on this show. This is exciting.
in my experience,
you don't want to get me started on religion, man. I'll fucking go down that rabbit hole forever.
I'm all good.
Me too. Fellas, I'm sorry. I got a boogie. I'm doing a stream with Mr. Preston Exit Only Acevedo.
Now, wait, Brian, before you go, in the private chat, I want you guys to look at this little quick image file. Just take a peek at that before you go and tell me if anybody would be interested in that. This is a coffee mug.
Let's see. Let me check
it
it out.
Or you want to keep it private?
No, you can show it. I don't care.
Stop, Grizz. No fighting.
Oh, your cat's getting treats.
Hey, nice. That's good video.
Hi to Melky. in the
Are you
chat.
gone, Pops?
Melky.
Nice. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it, Chris.
Oh, Edwin.
Edwin. Hey, guys, I've got to go too. And it's not because Brian and I are meeting up anywhere. I'll come on another show. Drew, thank you for hosting. And guys, nice meeting all of you. Big props to Mojo Risen. Big props to Pops. Oh, yeah, there's the coffee mug. What is Comicsgate? The greatest thing that ever happened to comic books. A consumer movement that pushed back against political propaganda and shitty online behavior by comic book pros and changed the medium for the better. A secret coven of hateful witches frequently labels them a hate group.
So when can we buy this off the Bleeding Fool site?
I'll let you guys know. I'll make them up and start selling them and give them away at the cons. Once we do the next CromCon in person next year, 2021, we'll have a whole slew of them with a bunch of Comicsgate books. How's that sound?
That sounds awesome, man.
Bro.
That sounds awesome.
The next CromCon is next month, bro.
I know that. I'm talking about the one in person, baby. Hey, listen, I love you guys. I'm going to keep doing what I do. We're going to keep bringing the news, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing. And guys, if you've got a comic project, come out with it, okay? Bring it up and send us something at contact@bleedingfool.com.
Rock and roll.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Drew. Thanks, Sim. Send me that email. Thanks, Jim. Artex, I didn't get to meet you, but keep doing what you're doing. I know you're creating. And Pops, love you, bro. Talk to you guys later.
Man.
Peace.
All right, thank you.
Hey, Artex, that Predator behind you is fucking badass, dude.
Oh, and that Joker too, dude. Oh my God.
He does this badass. His tattoos are badass. His colors are badass. His art is badass.
Oh, I think he and Preston.
Yeah, he's amazing, man.
I think he and Preston would get along very well. Oh my God.
Look at it.
Oh, wow. It's beautiful. Dude, I'm sorry I have to cut out just as you've come on, but man, you got mad crazy skills. I hope we catch up sometime.
That's insane.
All right, everybody. I really apologize. I do have to go.
All right,
Brian.
Much love.
Back at you.
Yeah, man, that's Artex right there, man.
That's amazing work, man. That's amazing work. That's really amazing work.
I've had this print. I've been showing this print off for months. I think we were Mojo way back in April, man.
Wow.
Right? And it's been I've been holding on to stuff like this and that watercolor print. I've been holding on to that stuff and showing it off for so long, man. It's finally happened. I'm jacked. I'm really jacked, man.
Yeah. So that's cool. So Artex, I don't know much about you. Tell me about you, man. Tell me about yourself.
Well, I was born in Brooklyn, Brooklyn Hospital. That's where I'm from. I've been drawing. It's been keeping me afloat since I was like a teenager, painting jackets out my window.
As soon as I hear you talk, I can tell you're from Brooklyn. As soon as you start talking.
Yeah. So I used to jackets out the window. From there on, it became an art thing. My brother used to do graffiti on trains in the tunnel back in the day, and that was an exciting thing during the 80s. The breakdance era, stuff like that. You know what I mean? So I got into the graffiti and I got known and people liked my work. But I wasn't doing it in the trains and stuff like that. I was a little too risky, you know what I mean? So, from that, learned how to just make money in the streets with my art. So, from there on, I became known, you know what I mean? And I started doing tattoos from a friend of my brother's who was in jail. He found out how to make a tattoo machine. A handmade tattoo machine. So he taught me this, how to make it. And from there on, I built it myself. I made my own version.
Wow.
Man, I have skills in it.
Yeah, you're in Brooklyn, so you got that same windstorm that Brian's suffering outside. Yeah, no, it's his connection, his internet's a little bit messed up by the weather. You know what I mean? Yeah, so you're roboting out a little bit. That's all. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So what's Jim got
Como
there?
orevato.
Is that a sculpture of the Mojo?
This,
Here?
yeah, this is
if you
just a
can
quick.
me,
I might be breaking out here. You guys hear me okay?
Yeah, now at the moment.
All right. This is a quick Mojo sketch done in monster clay sculpt, and for the origin story, I'm doing a sculpture as one of the tiers of the Mojo characters. So this was just done in monster clay as a quick, just playing around kind of thing, and I found this new clay called Cos Clay from the makers of monster clay that it's really it hardens the sculpt when you bake it to almost like a very hard rubber, so you don't have to worry about breakage so much. So
wow,
yeah.
What's the name of it?
So
he wants to know the name of the
besides,
clay.
nobody really wants to look at my face, so
What's the name of the clay again?
This is monster clay here. The newer clay is called Cos Clay.
Cos Clay.
Yeah, just think of cosplay, but Cos Clay. And it's they did a Kickstarter for it, and it was very successful. And now they just put it out to the public. So if you go to cosclay.com, you can buy it there. And they're breaking out several different types of it in stages. The first stage is called Cos Clay Doll, and that's what I'm working with now. It's a little tacky, but it's still it works well. And then they'll be coming out with other versions of it. Like one's called a sculpt, which will be a gray version, and then they have one other one after that. I can't remember the name of it, but I'm not pitching for them. I came across it, and the timing was perfect because I wanted to do a sculpt for, like I said, for the Mojo tier for the origin story. But not about me. It's about Mojo Risen. This is about Raj. It's about getting in there with Artex and getting in there. Where's Manuel? I want to see Manuel out here promoting his book.
Yeah, excellent. No, everybody go check out that book on Kickstarter. The Artex is having that obviously internet issues. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up the thing, and we've been going for almost 2 hours. Everybody, thank you for coming. Everybody in the chat, thank you for coming. My cats have joined us. They don't usually hang out this much on the desk, but they decided that they were going to give us crap today. And I want to close off with I want to say thank you, everybody. And then hey, you guys are welcome to come back. You know what I mean? Just keep in touch with me. You guys know me most. You guys probably know me more from Facebook. You know what I mean? But definitely keep in touch more. We want to cross promote as much as possible. That's what this is all about. You know what I mean? And obviously, we can work on each other's projects. What is Jim doing to the screen?
Don't forget to like this channel and sub.
Yes.
Yes.
If you're subscribe and like and share and remember and come back. We do the comics interviews on Tuesdays. We do horror talk on Mondays. Sometimes we do
It is live. Yeah. Mojo is live.
All right.
Excellent. Mojo's live Kickstarter. Do we have the link for that? We do, right?
Yep.
Is the same one as earlier?
Same one.
All right. I will definitely post that link out and start tweeting it around. It's the same one that's already in the chat. Grab that link and get into it. And then I'm going to close out with this little video that is relation to some of the discussion we had earlier. This will prove a point. That's basically why I'm doing
All right. Thanks a lot, Drew.
All right.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us, man.
If you want to hang out, you can. Oh, he's gone.
Hey, Ethan. Sam here. I'm African American. I'm a liberal. I like to say this to you. I am a leader of Comics Gate.
I'm disabled. I'm the leader of Comics Gate.
I am the leader of Comics Gate.
I am the leader of Comics Gate.
As a gay male,
I am the leader of Comicsgate.
Hi there. I'm the leader of Comicsgate.
I love this shit.
As a Latina, I'm the leader of Comicsgate.
I am the leader of Comicsgate.
I am the leader of Comicsgate.
I am Mexican, and I am the leader of Comicsgate.
I'm the leader of Comicsgate.
I am the leader of Comicsgate.
I'm a leader of Comicsgate.
I am the 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 leader of Comicsgate.
I'm the leader of Comicsgate.
I am 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 the leader of Comicsgate, and you can be too.
You can be too. And you can be too.
And you could be one too. I am the leader of Comicsgate, and you can be too.
And you could be too.
And you can be too.
You can be too.
And you can be too.
Oh my God. And you can be too.
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 You can be one too.
And you can be one too.
I am the leader of Comicsgate. And you can be too.
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 You can be too.
And you can be one too.
And you can be 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 too. Thank you.
I am the leader of Comicsgate, and you can be too.
Thank you for coming, everybody. We'll see you next week.